Hello, welcome to the sixth part of the second PAL 19 compendium. It's time to finally analyze the 600k game. Let's go. Right, we are starting here. Regular start, Lomba on the right. As far as I remember, I said something about it in one of the previous parts. I definitely prefer starting with Lomba flat on the right instead of vertically on the left, because now you have this possibilities of putting S here, Z here, so it's much easier to manage the whole board compared to this wall splitting, wall creating vertical lomba left. And now I'm using it. But this L already goes to the left. As far as I remember, when playing this game, the start was just for Tetrises. I was trying to start for Tetris at the very beginning. But the game is pretty old. It's well over 2 years old now, so a lot has changed in my game ever since, surely. But the core is still the same. The lines are still quite decent. So the most important things have remained the same, surely. Yeah, that's fine. This all could have gone to the left. Sorry, to the right. Yeah, here it's also fine. And this J, I'm not sure if this J is optimal. Flat, maybe it would be slightly better here. The same with that. With this setup, it was kind of unavoidable. Now, what you want to do is clear one line so that if you get another L, you can bring it all the way to the left like this. Now it isn't possible. That's why maybe it isn't that bad to put this flat, because now we are only one piece away from the line burn. After this placement, this vertical placement, we still need two pieces to burn this one line. Here's the burn, and the lomba follows immediately to the right. Here, a bit of a line sacrifice. I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it. It seems like putting this Z flat here like this could be slightly better, because in this way there is this LJ hole here. This is open to the left. Here there would be this nice space going from left to the right. Just this one line sacrificed. Now it's kind of spire-ish with empty right board, so it isn't as good. But on the other hand, now there's this J-tag chance, so it isn't that bad. It turned out to be like a regular sacrifice, but this one isn't that good anymore, because here it might be quite difficult to open anything of this in a way that doesn't require some excessive stacking on the side, because in the ideal world we need two pieces, one to fit this and a lomba here, which is very unlikely. And if we don't get them, we would need something to fill this 4 wide hole here, which requires two pieces, and the bottom is too wide, and this is too wide as well. So there's quite of RNG dependent situation, RNG dependent moment. It should be all fine, of course. It's even without the two bottom lines, it should be possible to stack pretty successfully, but if possible, would like to avoid it. That's why I think it would be slightly better to put this J here, waiting for Z or T to burn here first. Okay, we are very lucky to get this lomba. Here, this seems quite bad, but it's all fine. J goes to the left. Lomba here is also good. It can't go all the way to the left with pure dust, unfortunately. But it could have gone to the right, although it would create this lomba L hole here, so maybe it wasn't the best thing to do. And here it's quite useful. It's not gonna be that easy to open this point as it may seem, because pretty much anything here and here to fill this and this is going to cover this a bit more. That's why putting this lomba here has very good sides. Okay, now we're just trying on the sides. It's all fine. Pawn 19 stuff happens sometimes. And this is quite nice because after this, that's a misdrop. So this isn't nice. But the thing is that after this, why can I? Okay, now after this, there's this lomba L. So the height of the right side will be cut with the height of the left side. And most likely this line is going to be needed to just open this kind of well. There are many pieces which are going to cover, fill this point as well when filling this one and this one. We would need some really good luck in order to open it in a way that we don't put anything more over it. Okay, but we're lucky. Nice spin. And it's open. So we will wait for a lomba for a moment, and would be great because it's the only piece which can go to the very, very bottom, burning this line. But if we don't get it, other piece here would be fine as well. It would burn this line, so we would be only 2 of the ground. But at this point, it shouldn't go here because it has a perfect place, perfect spot to go to here. And we're back down. This T, it's possible to put it in this way. It would be much better if we wanted to stack for some kind of aggressive Tetrises, because now after this there's already the war started. But when playing for pure survival, it's gonna be better to put it simply flat, with no any excessive attempts to make something better when it's already good enough. Such, if you get a good placement, good solid placement possible, which is easy to execute, very straightforward, it's always gonna be fine enough. Such attempts to make something yet better can often lead to some kind of trouble, maybe not necessarily trouble, but situations in which some burn is gonna be needed, which wasn't really necessary, or there would be some line sacrifice needed for a moment. If possible, let's avoid it. That's why it would be much better to put it flat, playing for just survival. I'm not sure if it wasn't for some aggressive Tetrises here. It's only 15 lines into the game, so it's pretty much nothing. But even if the slower option would be fine as well, there's no rush, even at this point. Okay, this all has to go here. Make it flat. Ah, that's a mistake. Don't know if there was some dust problem. I don't think so. And there shouldn't be, because there was this massive wall charge on this O here. Still should simply go all the way to the right. here burning, the obvious move. No idea why I put it here. Shouldn't be losing, of course, though. Yeah, just fine. The same with this first L. It should simply burn here. There's no reason not to burn with it. This has to go here, kind of unfortunately, making 3 high, but on the other hand, one of those lines are gonna get burned very soon. Most likely both of them, actually. Yes, it's all fine. We are in this kind of waiting for it to the left setup, but it's just regular cleaning, very good. We are getting points for it. And yeah, this is quite aggressive. It's possible. You see, that's why one of these reasons it's quite important to know the Tetris setups, even if it doesn't seem necessary in a way that you think you wouldn't go for them intentionally. Now we are basically in a third column Tetris well like situation. It's just not a Tetris well because this point is here, not here. But the whole model, the whole strategy is gonna look basically all the same as if that was the Tetris well. Here it isn't that bad to put it there, but if you wanted to be safer, such L would be much better most likely. Just L here. Kind of spirish, but many burns ready, 3 burns ready. Just in this to white, in this single point. And we even most likely are going to open this point as well. So it's a very nice spot to be at. And kind of a slow burn. I don't think I don't think it's the best thing to do in this case. Most likely putting this L here would be slightly better. But it's possible I wanted to avoid this double hole here and here. This L here would have created. And in this very case, when it isn't regular Tetris well, this placement is kind of better in a way that after this and burning this as well, which is quite likely it's too white and happens here, this is gonna be only too high, so LJ burn it to the very bottom. And L is possible here because after this L, the second column would be only too high. One here, one here after this L, 1 plus 1 equals 2, so it's all fine. Here, and even the wall just to the left. Very nice. Back to the bottom. This burn, yeah, it would be slightly better to put this Z all the way to the left as well. But here's fine. It's all clean. Again, kind of this second option placement. But such second options are not a problem in any way. It's all that clear. And another misdrop. As you see, misdrops cause many more problems than any other stacking mistakes when you know once you know the very basics. Because even if you do the second choice option placement or even one stacking mistake, it shouldn't really kill you. But such a misdrop, out of nowhere, we have basically empty board with some good, even this beautiful point on the left to base the stack on for next few pieces. Such a misdrop happens. Of course, this was to go here. It's a pretty obvious one. And suddenly we found ourselves in a situation where we basically have a Lombard dependency on the right. It's not necessarily a dependency here because L would also work. Can just sacrificing its bottom line. This point is not gonna get filled anyway. But yeah, if we don't get anything good to the left within like next 3 pieces, there might be some problems with the right. So it isn't as straightforward as it may seem. Although as for burning, it's always better to have something like this than, for example, the typical L to the left burn setup. Very lucky to get this lumber. It's always nice, clean, all to the left. Here it was possible to burn, but not necessary, surely. This is fine as well. This is a mistake, unfortunately. Most likely I didn't have dust to put it here. That's this obvious placement, so that the bolt has this proper shape. And that's a mistake. Wow. What did I want to try here? This set should burn the single here. Now this can get very problematic very soon. That's some serious misread of the situation. Yeah, and it happened. And here, maybe it would be slightly better to put this all the way to the left. Not necessarily, but it was possible. And here, this makes it too high here, so it's not a problem though. This opener is a bit spirish, so technically it should be better to put this lumbar somewhere else, for example here or here. This lumbar flat would be really great in this situation, because after any S, T here, we would get entirely open and out of those trouble. But here should be fine as well. It also opens the bottom line immediately, so it's good for this reason. Now the boat isn't like perfectly clean, but it's not that bad. We have this left is kind of safe, right is kind of safe. There are a lot of burns in the middle. We can also sacrifice the now second row. Once again, it will be all fine. Oh, that's a mistake once again. Some serious misread. This really shouldn't go here, because it creates the same thing here, and this double hole combined with this one can cause some serious trouble. It really isn't a good thing to do. So there are a few options. Let's maybe draw them, because it's a bit more complicated. Most likely the most complicated board of the game so far. Complicated in the way of possible options, possible placements. What we can do. If we put it here like I put it, we have the same thing here, here, and the opposite hole here, but altogether with this kind of split, it isn't gonna be nice. So it's slightly better to put it here. Now we still have this to the right, but this is kind of open. This burns. We have another hole here, so we aren't that dependent on pieces. One burn is ready here. We can always sacrifice a line, but I wonder if it wouldn't be objectively the best to put this O here immediately. I'm not sure if it was possible to see it in the real game, because, well, it's not that obvious, of course. It's not that obvious placements. An O here. It's not natural, really. And there is its main issue is, of course, creating this 3 high left here. But on the other hand, if we look at how the shape of the boat looks like after this and after this, it should be pretty easy to see that now it's just kind of cleaner overall. It's more flat, there are no spires at the moment. Basically, the only problem, I mean, besides the line sacrifice, which always is kind of a problem in a way, but if there, besides in terms of just the boat cleanness, the top of the boat cleanness, the only real problem is this 3 high here. But on the other hand, it would be extremely unlikely not to get this L and not to get pieces to fill this and this at the same time. while this right should be pretty easy to fill, even without this L, in a way that we can bring it back to the bottom, and maybe not to the bottom, but one line, one row lower. For example, with S like this and T like this, burn it. We are basically clean now. This is just a slight issue. In the worst case scenario, we will have to wait for something to the left, but it shouldn't be a problem compared to the complete mess we get here on the board now after displacement. So yeah, this wasn't good. So now this number goes here. That's a mistake as well. If put here, this number should go all the way to the left now, so that the first column is gonna be ready to take all those burns and possible line sacrifices with this, this, and this. But here, transforming the cell in this way, it isn't that bad at the end of the day, but it's really not the way to go in this kind of situation. Even this burn would be slightly better, because this we will be this one line lower, which is always some kind of a bonus. Okay, we burn, and this L is very lucky and can fill the very left side of the board. It's going to be very helpful. This situation without this L can be kind of tricky, because we need something here to just burn this one line, and there aren't that many pieces to do it. Something's needed here. This is 4 white, so yeah, possible trouble, but with this L, everything should be fine very, very soon. Yeah, and this J also can follow all the way to the left, but this burn fine, just fine. Yeah, the sacrifice as well, quite fine. Don't know if it would be slightly better to sacrifice this line here immediately in this kind of situation, because now something to burn this is needed. There are only 3 pieces to burn the bottom line now, L, J, and lomba, while after this sacrifice, just put in the T flat here. There's a lot of ways to fill the remaining right, and this point is just gonna get filled with one of the pieces that come on the way. Okay, the lomba has to go here, unfortunately. This is exactly the thing I didn't really like about this T here, because now we have a 2 white here, and that's a deep 2 white. They all 2 white, and another 2 white here. So it might get a bit difficult to burn out of if we don't get something to fill this and this pretty soon. And why doesn't this T burn? It should simply burn here. Yeah, that's kind of a mistake. This burn would be much better. A lot better. Oh, it looks like I wanted to set up for Tetris here. Yeah, that's too crazy. Just burn. This setup doesn't look good by any means. There's 4 white here. There won't be a Tetris out of this. Unless very lucky pieces, but we don't assume very lucky pieces. Yeah, so that's a good triple. Kind of well transferred, but just slowly burning. That's also kind of a strategy. Starting those Tetris setups, not finishing them, just burning out of them when you don't get the absolute perfect pieces for them. Because if you get the absolute perfect pieces, the Tetrises would stack themselves up. And sometimes it happens, but it's a very rare situation. Even when you try to go for Tetrises, it happens like less than once in 100 lines on average, I believe. This lumbar is pretty quick as well. It should be better to put it all the way to the right. But here, fine, just fine. Now, this one goes, yeah, fine. It doesn't matter. There's this double hole here. This securing the right is more important. This, oh, it could follow on the left, but on the other hand, when there is no stacking for Tetrises, this is perfectly fine, because in this way we will get closer to the burns, while more space to the left still to use, and there's this great space, this O's wall, O's tower, so it's all fine. And this burn is really not good, just because it creates this double hole here and here. If possible, you want to avoid such things. That's why this J really should have gone all the way to the right here, vertically, in the simplest possible way. Yeah, this one falls, this one burns. That's very nice to burn here, not to put it here, because if you put this here, we will still have this double hole here and here. So this one, this burn is very good. Oh, there was lost dust here. Don't know if you saw that. Here, this T is very late, so there's no dust on this. Also, it has to go here due to no dust. This is double tap, double slow tap here. Executed pretty nicely. Now we will have to get the dust back. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad to bring it, to get the dust back by putting L here, taking the single, because with such a left, this hole on the right, this L hole on the right, this L would create here, wouldn't be such a problem. But if it isn't possible to bring it here with that little dust, that drop in here in the middle is gonna be fine as well. Yes, I've tried it. As expected. There wasn't full dust in this, I'm pretty sure. And this has to go like this, unfortunately. Oh, and this was a mistake. It's a crucial mistake. It should have gone all the way to the left, surely. Because we want to get much higher here than the double well is. Double well is here, so we barely catch the same height on the left. That's why this O really should go all the way to the left here. This one goes, so now it's gonna be pretty kind of safer. So what's this? Yeah, it's not that bad. I haven't seen it now. It was natural to simply put it here so that this would burn this too. But yeah, this seems even better. That's great placement. Really, it doesn't seem that great, but it is. It gives a lot of possibilities. Still lumbar, L burns double, S, T, they burn a single, but this will be immediately open after this burn. These burns are really possible, so yeah, that's a very good placement. Okay, and this lumbar could have followed flat on the right, because this one is kind of spire-ish with this hole, and this something still needed here, but it's fine. I mean, it should be fine. And that's all good. Now this goes to the left. It could have gone here, but that's kind of this quicker option. I know it creates this 3 high here, but it again, once again would be extremely unlikely not to get both this L to the left and something to burn here. So there shouldn't be any problems with surviving. Yeah, finally. We get something. It requires some waiting, but you see, just by this, how this weighting looked like. Starting from here, there's so beautiful space, so much of this great space on the right, thanks to this point, that basically there can't be anything bad happening out of this. Yeah, just perfect weighting. No rush, pure Palm 19 stuff, using the property of absolutely unlimited time. Yes, let me repeat that once again, dear rollers. Okay, number goes to left, and now perfect for white to burn. It's not even worth trying to bring it back to the all the way to the right when it's possible to open everything up that easily. Okay, this falls to the right. There's no rush with this burn. It's gonna get burned anyway. This also could follow all the way to the left, but that's fine. And this number in this situation is fine, because after putting it on the right, there would be this kind of staircase here, those stairs here, which aren't that good necessarily. But after this, we have a regular hole to the right, a regular hole to the left, two white hole here. So it should be fine. Yeah, this is like kind of unlucky piece in this situation, most likely the worst possible at this point. But if that's the worst case scenario, it's still pretty okay. Of course, it can't go to the left vertically like this, because this is 3 high. But here, well, we have the same thing here and here, but we also have so many burns here that it should be possible to burn all of this even before having to do anything with the very left now. Right, that's line sacrifice, but a very good one, because we have this line ready on the left and this one ready on the left, so we have one more line ready on the left than the height of the sacrifice. See, still this can burn, so this should be opened pretty safely. Oh, and that's great as well. We haven't seen this. Now I wanted to simply put it here, but yeah, that's really great thing to do. The bottom line sacrifice, so why not to secure the very right of the board for next lines? That's a really good placement. The slumber, it's fine on the right, of course it also could go to the left, both vertically and horizontally. I don't know which one is the best objectively in this case. It might turn out that the best placement objectively would be this vertical Lombard to the left. But in a real game, this one is good enough, even better than enough. That's kind of rushy, just rush burn. It shouldn't be put here. It's gonna create this nasty spire kind of here, splitting the board unnecessarily. It was possible to just put it here. It would be way more simple in this way. Just here. This J goes here. As simple as that. Okay. Yeah, it's not that bad to transform this hole immediately. Wondering, why didn't I put this Lombard flat here? if possible. But on the other hand, this seems a bad option as well. Yeah, it's fine. Just burning. Just burning. And burning. And this one isn't really that good. This should go all the way to the right here, really. Because in this way there would be tons of possible burns here in the middle, while after this we get this double hole here and here. So it isn't that good. And this one is a kind of surprising mistake. Of course, this O should really follow all the way to the left. There's no reason to sacrifice the bottom line as for now. Just kind of, I don't even know what it is really. Well, yeah, that's just weird. Yeah, it's weird. I have no idea why I put it here. It's a weird mistake. Really. Oh, and this one's even worse. Wow. The worst moment of the game so far, most likely. Yeah, this simply goes here. And we'll wait for something for RJ Lomba here to open this back up. Now it might be quite difficult to open this up, because we need a T or a Lomba here. Fortunately, we get the T. But without this T and Lomba, it could be pretty difficult. And this one another surprising mistake. This J goes all the way to the left, of course, following the right. The left, sorry. This one also not that good. Should have gone all the way to the right. Yeah, but just see, as you might expect, I have survived it in this game. And look how many mistakes at one time it takes to create any major trouble. Now I am in major trouble. But look, just see how many mistakes were needed to cause this. It's not that like slight mistakes, those were like true mistakes. Okay, here, just burning, hoping for good RNG, and the good RNG comes, that's great. And this is fine as well. We have this double hole here and here now. Of course, we're in really good situation compared to what there was like 5 lines before. This L to the left was impossible, but if we are to sacrifice the bottom line anyways, why to create a spin setup here when it's possible to sacrifice it here and the spin setup wouldn't be created then. So this is by far the best placement, I'm sure of that. Well, now one gets created. So yet another sacrifice. This one isn't that good, I think. The Lombard to the left would be by far best. Yes, I see that there is this possibility of Lombard here and J or T burning here, open everything up, but it would require something here so much that I don't think it's a good option to sacrifice yet another line here, right in the spot. It can wait. If needed, it will come, we will burn. But maybe it won't be needed. Then let's just wait a bit. By putting the Lomba to the left, and then even without this bottom line we can play and play, and nothing bad should happen with the next about 6 lines. 6 lines should be enough to open this back up, by the way. Plus there is still this deep spin possibility after this, so it isn't really about opening that match. I treat the bottom this line as sacrificed at the moment, but why to create just another more serious holes? It's quite tricky with those spin setups, because basically we avoid them on par 19. Spins are, of course, one frame spin is always somewhat difficult to hit, and it will never be this 100% situation. Getting like 90% success rate on them would be already very good, I believe. Yeah, 19 would be. It's not, sorry, not 19. I mean 90. It would be fine. Really good. And it seems human possible. 90% spin rate on par 19. But much more than that, I wouldn't hope for it. Possible, of course, but not something to hope for. Yeah, we're filling all those holes. Filling this, and this, and this. Yeah, it's all fine. We're just waiting all around. And this is a rush move. I already see what could happen. This will be put here. This simply goes to the right. It's the perfect spot to put the Lomba now. Another rush placement. This S goes to the right, so that this space on the left isn't yet touched. Now we have kind of hole on both left and right. After this, there's a hole only on the right, and it's more accessible. T will be much better here than S. The left is more important in this way. That's why this S should go here, not here. Yeah, finally, I rewind it. Finally, there is this starting from here. Finally, there is this proper wide side plane. Look, this Tomba goes all the way to the left. This follows the left. This immediately to the left. This to the left. This to the right. This to the left. And this to the right as well. Although this Lomba could be slightly better here flat. But it doesn't matter. Both are very similar. We don't deal with such minor things. And is this sacrifice necessary? This baron is fine. This one, I'm not so sure. Maybe it's possible to still put it here, or maybe even here. Now it might be quite difficult. It will be problematic to open this back up, because whatever you put here other than the Lomba is gonna fill this point as well, and the left is empty compared to this. So it may take some time to open the bottom row at this point. Oh, and that's a really serious mistake. This is fine, just fill up the left, but this is very serious. Do you see what is the thing to do here? Yes, is the flat burn here. It's gonna make the bolt much better, much more accessible. Lombard to the right is also possible, but this burn seems better because it immediately brings things a little bit lower. But this one, it only splits things furthermore. Now we have this kind of hole here, a hole here, and a hole here, with no sides really secured that much. so it might be kind of RNG dependency situation now. This T is really great here. It's gonna solve a lot of problems. Without this T, it would be way more difficult. Okay, and this white lomba to the left. It's all fine. This L, maybe not that good. Yeah, like this lomba, it can go all the way to the right vertically, of course, but here, why not? It even creates some of those good space for L here or S here. It's all fine. But this L shouldn't burn now. It would be better all the way on the right, just here. L goes here. Because here, this is 4 white, this is 4 white. Such 2 4 whites on the sides aren't the best. The same with this O. Why does it go here? It should go to the left. First off, just for the sake of it, and second off, because now this double hole is getting created here. Oh, this J also not that good. It should go all the way to the left here. Fill in the space and getting this great point on the left, this single point here. It's very crucial, very often, just when you have this kind of situation, it's always better to have something like this than something like this. This point is this one is a great base for further stacking. Because now if you get SZ, they basically have to go here. Even T isn't that good anywhere. But with this one, suddenly the T is gonna get very well with this left. It's much easier to start the proper stack shape using it. Okay, this burn is fine. Vertic to the left was also an option, but in this case it wouldn't be that good, because if we put this L vertic to the left, we would have this kind of hole here, while we already have one here. So this would double the hole. And the same story here. Now we double the hole here and here, while it was possible to simply put this L here, and in this way, once this L is here, we would just work around this hole, bring something to the left with no trouble. Now we are gonna have to deal with this double hole, which was created here and here. Oh, did I want to try stack for Tetris here? Oh, that was just a misdrop. Really can't tell. If you want to play for survival, you just burn, take the double, kind of transforming this kind of hole into this kind of hole, but with way more space to wait for this J and or another number here. After this number, you have this much space, basically, to wait for this piece to put in here easily. Now, well, the setup is pretty nice on the other hand. Maybe I wanted to try it. Who knows? So far, there was no single Tetris in this game. Yeah, the setup is really good. But with this Lomba, it really has to burn. There's no other option. Very wise decision. And simply bringing it down. That's also a very good example of how those good kind of early Tetris setups are often a great base to bring the board back to perfect shape on the bottom. Those very low clean stack. They are very often a very good base for further stacking, just like in this case. Here, the same story. Quite too early burn. This L here would be better because it would shape the very right side of the board very well. Oh, that's a misdrop. That's quite serious misdrop. I wanted to put it here. By the way, I saw this misdrop just when I wanted to pause the video and say that it would be slightly better to simply burn here. Because now we have this hole anyways, and it's open only to the left. While if we burn here with this L, the single point will be open both to both left and right. So it's much better in this way. Here, yeah, well, that was just slow tapped. That's why it was possible. There is no DAS on this next J. 3 taps. It was very fortunate I managed to bring it there, by the way. It seems like, though. Yeah, it was very lucky. Okay, but we managed to do it, so this goes here, this goes here. Now, finally, that's the consequence of having no DAS for so long. But in case of just getting us back out of such terrible sequence of no DAS, this is a very good setup because now there will be both a lot of wall charges possible to both sides of the board, very easy to maintain, and this empty sides may even help with that because it will be accessible and easy to sacrifice a line in a very safe way. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. The line sacrifice, but in the worst case scenario now, we are gonna play with no two bottom lines. But starting from here, it should be all really, really fine. Well, this one, it looks like the worst case scenario is coming true. But it seems like this is the way to go. It's gonna be better to sacrifice the line here, not here, because after this we get rid of this 2 white hole here and make the very left of the board 3 white. So we have 3 white here, 2 white here, and all possibilities here. We can sacrifice this point as well. Anything can go here. S, Z, T, J, L. Not only not O, but O has perfect spot here on here, depending on what we get now. Yeah, the bike weight would be quite interesting. What if we don't get this T now, but an O piece? Where should it go? Here or here? Most likely here on the middle, because after this, it might be quite difficult to get rid of this point for opening this one. For example, if we get O here, then Z here puts more. Sorry, is yes, Z here puts 2 points over this. O here, T here, 1 point, the same height, but this point here is also a problem because now it's gonna block the left from next O's S's possibly. I mean, it would be 6 high, so not that much of an issue, but then again, not that optimal. But with this T, there shouldn't be any problems now. Just all about filling the left now. And this isn't the best of possible starts. It would be much better to put it vertically here, so that we have much more on the first column. Now we are gonna need one more piece to the left pretty soon. Yeah, but we get the, oh, it will be very unlucky not to get them, by the way. And this has a mistake as well. It should go vertically. Yeah, I think it's like the fourth time in this game this mistake is committed. Maybe I didn't pay that much attention to this vertical L to the left instead of those horizontal one back then. Maybe I still don't. I'm gonna have to take a look into that. Oh, another board splitting L here, splitting it here, hole here, here. Way too many holes. That's why this number really should go all the way to the right. Okay, some white play. I think the white plate should be followed even by this S here. It's quite too early to burn. Of course, the sides are so high, we have so much space here to burn. 6 lines already on the sides, so even if we sacrifice 2 lines in the middle now, there shouldn't be any problems. But this can just continue, making 7 high. Those bears are going to come anyways very soon. And there's even a chance for a kind of accidental Tetris here, if you get like T here and O here. Very safe one, by the way. I mean, a safe S for Power 19 standards, of course. But yeah, this worked out as well. It was possible, it was an option because sides were so high. If you wanted to get lower, slightly quicker, this would be the way to go, surely. Yet another one which should go all the way to the left and didn't go there for some reason. Yeah, it really should go here. And some problems start here. I think they are all a consequence of this loose placement here. Yeah, because it really doesn't really work well here. It's like so lazy, so loose placements. Yeah, it shouldn't really go there. Yeah, much better on the left. And here, this S also slightly better here, because after this there's a great chance for those kind of delayed or covering burns here. This L like this, J like this, T like this, making this LJ hole on the left. A lot of possible options. On the right, sorry. And yeah, this is all fine. Looks like problems out of nowhere, basically. Sometimes happens. PAL 19. Nothing we can do about it, but yeah, handled perfectly. And this burn is also fine. I don't really like it though, because the thing is now we have this double hole here and here. So maybe it would be slightly better to bring this lumbar all the way to the right, solving one of them. I know this one transforms this one into the open one, but then again, what for? It was possible to bring this lumbar all the way to the right, also making the right safe, so it would be much better in this way, surely. Now it's all fine. This number also can go all the way to the right. Most likely be slightly better here, but this is fine as well. It doesn't stick out here, and now we have more easy burns here. Yeah, just here we have all those burns here, and waiting for all to the left, or a lomba after the first burn. Now we got the lomba possibility, and most likely there was no dust on this. It was possible. I couldn't bring this lomba all the way to the left now. after this S, sorry, Z. But yeah, on the left, on the right, still fine. Now we are back to the bottom. There still shouldn't be any problems. And this is a really great placement. Kind of sacrificing bottom nice immediately, but making sure there will be no problems with the very left. And this goes to the right. Now we're waiting for something to fit this. Yeah, and this once again, you see? This L should go vertically to the left, like this. This one goes in this way. That's nice. It's quite rush placement, but in this case, isn't really that bad. It's like teleporting the uh, sacrifice line from here to the second row, because this will get filled anyways. But I believe in this case it would be slightly better to put this L all the way to the left here. Yeah, and just slowly open it up. It's a very good place to put the L, to just make it kind of higher on the left. It would be fine. But this burn is quite early as well. I think it would be better to put it here, making sure the right is gonna follow this good shape. Yeah, I'm wondering if it wouldn't be better to sacrifice this line furthermore, because I really don't like this shape of the bolt which is being created here. Now we have a triple hole basically. We have here, here, and here. Now I see. Maybe this caused this trouble, but yeah, it would be much better to bring this all the way to the left here, so that there is no this triple hole, and slowly open it up. With such a left and such a right, there will be no problems. After this, well, we are staying lower, but does it really matter? It doesn't. So, yeah, it would be better. But that's this kind of situations which is very difficult to see in a real game. I wonder if I will ever be able to learn to see things like this one in real games, because not that they are so difficult, but such things like this one are just so rare that it's difficult to learn them in this way. And even if you see this like this, like I may try to play game for 10 hours now and don't get any similar situation to this one, because it's so just so specific, so rare. But yeah, it's always better to know than to not know. At some point when you know thousands of things like this one, I just saw here, you will see those easy ones are becoming truly easy. And that's the thing to do, to understand as much as possible. Yeah, that's why it's getting sacrificed immediately. So if it was to be sacrificed, it should have been sacrificed back then. And that's already, I said already, L goes here. Now, that was the shape thing here. And now it's gonna be safe once again. This is fine, but then again, on the right would be slightly better. And this one opens. I'm wondering if it would be slightly better to put it here or here. But yeah, let's just open it now. And that's very good. I was afraid I was gonna burned immediately. Here on the left is much better. And this all should have followed. Don't know why it didn't really follow the left back then. That's interesting, by the way. And that's again kind of a loose burn. Maybe there was some dust issue. I don't see one. Yeah, there's such a giant wall charge here at this point that there must be dust for both this and both this to the left. There are no dust problems, surely. After this, I don't know why it doesn't follow the right here. It should have, definitely. Okay, now this is the good shape. And too early burn once again. It simply goes here, slowly waiting for those good pieces to burn, instead of creating such not only spires, kind of spires in the middle, but such holes, which are much more problematic to deal with at the end of the day. Another O, which should have gone immediately to the right. Those are those pieces which are like this bad second option placements. This one can be somewhat problematic because this, and this all together doesn't seem good. It really doesn't. It seems it's much worse than it seems actually. Not in terms of just surviving, but making survival much more difficult than necessary. They are truly that. Okay, this is fine. Here I was wondering why I didn't put this Z flat here, but I believe that this one is just slightly tiny bit better, or it doesn't matter. And yeah, once again, this all simply follows the right. There's no need to create such things on the left, really. And some issues it caused, once again. Too early burn, way too early burn. Some loose, lazy burn. This sorry J goes all the way to the right here. Surely. But this is so bad. Problems out of nowhere. Just yeah, following the second option placements, now getting to not perfect pieces and already so many potential trouble. This one also is a second option. Of course, this has to go here. You can't create such a double hole here, especially on the right, that easily. And the left isn't safe, so it's like asking yourself for a disaster. This lomba is fortunate because it could have solved one of them, but I didn't put it there because I wanted to bring the second column back to 3 high, sorry, back to 2 high instead of 3 high, which was again rush placement, loose placement, and trouble incoming due to that. Okay, now at least the shape of the board isn't that bad. Oh, that's interesting. I thought I would have followed it to the right. Sorry, to the left, but here to the right is fine as well. Maybe even slightly better. And this one also should go all the way to the left. It's possible to bring it here with pure DAS. And another one. Yeah, this T has to go to the right in order to solve this castle wall here. Now it only adds one more of those sticking out points here. Line sacrifice, like kind of forced line sacrificed, kind of forced line sacrifice has become very likely right now. Oh, this solves everything, so that was kind of lucky. Yeah, that was very lucky. It was possible to avoid the line sacrifice so cleanly. Very good. And this lomba goes to the right, the far right. Fortunately, this one didn't. Okay, this one falls. There, it looks like there was no less on that. What? There's a wall charge. This really has to go all the way to the left. It really has to go there. It's yet another one. This time unnecessary split of the board. It simply goes here or here. Doesn't really matter. Just not here because here it splits the board. And what makes it even worse, it splits it into a completely empty 4 white on the left. So now it might be kind of difficult to get out of it. Okay, this is fine. And this is fine as well. Maybe this J would be slightly better here because it seems like it's time to burn already. This one used all the space on the left, so we may run out of it if we need to use it for like one bad piece, which may happen with one thing in this. And that's a misdrop here, I believe. It's quite unfortunate. It was to go here, of course, surely. Don't know why, what caused this misdrop. Most likely I thought I had misdrop it here, and that's why I tried to bring it back to the left, which I thought would be back here, but in reality it was good and bring it here. Yeah, especially after this one. Yeah, because it goes perfect. The next piece, this L, goes perfectly as if it was to go here into this hole the S would have created. Now it's getting quite complicated, actually. This has to go here, sacrificing this line, and now we really need a, a J or L or Lomba to burn this, but with Lomba, I'm not so sure. Quite interesting board once again. Where should a Lomba go? If we now get a Lomba, should it burn here? Burn the single flat, or burn this one? In order to burn this bottom line as soon as possible. Very interesting, very difficult. It will be really difficult to determine which one is better. They both have a lot of pros and cons. I think this flat burn will be slightly better, because after this, the split of the board, which would be created here, could be quite problematic compared combined with this empty point on the left. Because here T would work really well here, and the other really good piece here would be an S, while T is needed here. So we really need a T in two places at once, which is never a good option to go into. That's why I think this flat burn would be slightly better, but just slightly. In the real game, they both should be perfectly survivable, of course. And here this ray should go all the way to the right. Now, because now we have this hole here and this hole here, so two holes of the same kind. While after this, we have only one hole. By the way, with great chance of setting up a Tetris here. Kind of safe Tetris, self-set-up Tetris, which we don't have to take even, because we always can just take this triple here if needed. So this would be a really great board. By the way, this Lomba is kind of loose here once again. Most likely it will be better all the way to the right. Yeah, it will be better there. Although this kind of setup, I mean, maybe I'll draw it when we have this 3 white with such a bottom. I mean, this one or the mirrored one, this one, can be quite problematic. So transforming it like I did in the game isn't that bad of an option as well. Here, maybe one second would be slightly better to put it here. But on the other hand, this burns immediately. It makes sure there will be something accessible on the left, so it isn't that bad. The stay here is also pretty good. We don't have to fill this, because the thing is, at this point, whatever we put on the right here, it burns on this line, and the other to burn this one as well, we need both this and this, while T is a perfect piece to be put in here. S doesn't work that good. L, sorry, J also doesn't. Only T does, because now we have O possible, S possible, Lomba possible. So 3 pieces to the left are quite nice. Here, setting up this triple kind of setup, very good once again. Now we are back to relative safety. And very great, that's a great L to the left. Oh, maybe I was trying to set up for Tetris here. Because normally, if going for pure survival, putting it here is a great option. It would leave this one single point on the left, which makes the further stacking very good. But here, why not? This is kind of a decent setup. Unfortunately, this kind of stairs here, so-called parity rollers, I have to call it like this for some reason, though it doesn't make too much sense in itself. It could be quite problematic. But one good piece, not necessarily a T-piece, something that would throw it back more to the right, like S here. Yeah, it gives quite a decent chance for Tetris here. And the first column, I mean, the left side of the stack is 5 high now, so it's quite decent. Yeah, but it's wise to burn here. Back then, that was a really, really good score for me already. But if you want to stack for Tetris here, why not? J goes to the right, this S goes here, and who knows what will happen here. Maybe you get a T, maybe you get an S, maybe you get another O to the left. Perfect case scenario. Why not? Okay, safety here, this is all fine. And this one isn't. This goes either to the left, to the right, or flat here. They both would be fine. Well, okay. This is quite right here, I believe. But would be better, much better, all the way to the left, surely. Yeah. This O is fine here. It could have burned. Most likely it will be slightly better burning because it's a perfect O shape here. And on the right especially, so we kind of want to bring it a bit lower if possible. But on the right it would also be nice. Pretty safe. And here I'm not so sure about this T. Maybe it will be slightly better here. But just slightly. On the other hand, we have this hole here and here. Now we have this one. This one is much worse. It's again this kind of setup I just showed you. That we have this 3 white here, 2 points here, and 1 here. It's not that good. But yeah, there shouldn't be any problems at the end of the day. But this is a serious mistake now. Can't even believe I did it. This J really has to go here, burning this single. No idea why I put it here. It's really bad. Yeah, but it's normal now. This saves the situation for a moment, or at least it should save it. Okay. Now this creates another triple hole, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3. It's not that good. Already this lumber isn't that good. Now it looks like we will have to sacrifice one more line here. It's quite unlucky sequence that it just set itself up. Wasn't really any mistake. It just happened. Happens sometimes. So maybe it would be better to put this line flat immediately, or maybe even here in the middle, because if you put it in the middle, this hole is gonna be open to the left, and this one open to the right. So it will be a little bit more manageable. Now this repair hole might be quite problematic. It's very fortunate pieces here. And this O to the left is fine. It doesn't matter, we have this double hole here now, here and here. The right is safe, the left will be safe, it's all fine. Okay, here we go. Okay. Once again, this lomba in the middle, it isn't the way to go. It should have gone all the way to the right, as usual. And some kind of trouble, very messy board out of nothing happens. Yeah, this might be the mistake. This S, it should go here or here. Not here, because now it creates another double hole here and here. It gets solved here, but then again, it's, I didn't put it here, most likely because this would create yet another double hole, then here and here, after putting this L here. But yeah, this is quite problematic, really. Not that good. Okay. Quite good kind of save. And isn't it quite too early? Yeah, it is. The stick can go here, simply. Maybe even here. But let's put it here, because why not? And this T should follow on the left, most likely first. And maybe not. I don't know. Now I see, I didn't see it for some reason, both in this game and now. It can open the hole if you put it in this direction. Doesn't seem that bad because this hole would be this one high hole. This would be two high hole. This would be open to both sides. So yeah, maybe this is the way to go. Why not? If not here, then why to cover it in this way? Now we need two pieces to open it. It's to here and here. Well, it shouldn't really matter though, because it was all so flat, so safe, so low. Oh, that's an interesting O. Really thought I would have put it here, following the left and leaving this J-tag possibility, but this O here is really great now, I can see, because it's very flat, very safe, works well with the right shape. Here, many burns will be possible, and you can always put something else on the top if needed. But this lumbar should go all the way to the left, not here. Now, transforming that hole into this one is not gonna be that good. Yeah, it creates some further trouble. Now we have a true Lombard dependency. And the Lombard would be really nice because it's the only way to burn this bottom line at this point. Okay, and this quite too early once again. Not only does it create a double hole here, but it's after this one, now this would be a double hole with this one. It's way too early. It can simply go here. By the way, maybe this O should sacrifice line immediately. If we put this O here, why not? It would be much cleaner. Because now it's spiraling out of control very easily, potentially, of course. Oh, another dodgy T. And here, this is all fine. Those are like kind of the only placements. Here, this can go to the left, but that's perfectly fine. It's the perfect piece here, right next to the O. This one, yeah, it's fine. Doesn't seem to, but it is. Now just save play and another spire when no need at all. This Lombard just goes either flat here or vertically to the left or vertically to the right. There's really no reason. It doesn't make sense to split the board in this way in the middle. It's really not good. And yet another board splitting placement. This Lombard really should go all the way to the right or to the left. Well, is it the best way to deal with it? This J wouldn't be so sure. I think, yeah, it would be better on the right or all the way to the left. All the way to the left, most likely the best. The problem with this placement is that now we have this double hole here and here, and the left isn't really that good at the end of the day because it doesn't work altogether with this thing here. It might get problematic very, very soon. But this is all fine. Now this uh, J to the left was really great. Here, quite unlucky. Oh, I was trying a quick tap here. I tried to get the quick tap all the way to the left. It failed. If you play with no quick taps, and this is pretty safe to quick tap in this case, and very beneficial. But if you don't want to, you can simply put it flat here. 1, 2, 4. Waiting for something here. There are all the tags are open because it's only here. The tags will be open here, so there shouldn't be any problems. And the quick tap to the left. It was, if I felt there was a time to quick tap, that was the way to go, simply, as simple as that. If I didn't feel it, then well, it could have waited. You can put this number all the way to the right, put something here, and try this regular classical waiting for L setup. There's quite a good chance. Just look how much space there is. The board is basically empty on the right. There are barely 2 pieces there, even not. But quick tap, of course, solves everything pretty much right on the spot. But this Lomba once again inspires out of control for some reason. There is this beautiful flat burn which is to be taken at this point. Even putting this number all the way to the left would be better than this placement. Here it goes to the left, very nice. And once again, kind of not the optimal thing. It can go simply here. There's no need to create such a hole here, especially if this was already here. A kind of what for situation, basically. Why to create such a thing when it isn't needed? And simply go here. As simple as that. Yeah, kind of accidental. I don't know what I was trying here. I don't think that was a prepared adjustment to rotate it, to put it here if there is no lomba, and leave it here if there is a lomba. But, well, if that was to be a Tetris setup, I think it's not that optimal necessarily, because it's 8th column, so not the best place to set up for Tetris. The left isn't that high yet, still something to the left needed. Well, it would be better to simply put it here and burn out of it. Okay, fortunately the lomba comes, so we burn out of it. It's another bad placement, just bad placement. This one is fine, but this one should go to the side, either here, 1, 2, in this way, or to the right, 8, 10. As simple as that. And this one also, huge mistake. This one simply goes to the right here. No overcomplicating. The simple solutions are usually the best. Okay, very fortunate. L to the left, but what are we even trying to do in this kind of situation? We have basically 2 options to get either L or lomba to just put it here, but if we get an L, we simply put it here. Although if it is a lomba, not an L, the lomba is better all the way to the left here. It simply goes all the way to the left, so that we have the first column secured, much higher than the third one. So we would have this kind of double well here open to the right side, which is the correct side because we have the kind of dependency, well, or dependency, depending on what you wanna call it, what's your attitude at that certain moment, open to the right when it's on the left, so it's all fine. Okay, this is great. It's all good. Now, this is quite a good Tetris setup, actually. there was a nice chance of it happening. Starting from here, yeah, it's all logical, very high left. Why not to try it if the pieces are so great? And this is fine as well. Quite aggressive, but possible. And this is the perfect placement. Now we don't cover this one. We leave this next T, J possible burn, or waiting for Lomba, waiting for O's here. There is still possibility of L in this way. So after O here or something else here and L here, it's possible to get this double burn here. If we fill this, this, and this, we have this double here. So there are quite a lot of options. Okay, we take this one, and now simply burning. No rush, this would be too aggressive already. Simply burning, and we get another chance to set it up, so why not to take it? Put in here, it all goes to the left. The second one should also go to the left. That's quite a mistake, and much more serious one than it seems. The thing is, we are 7 high here, so the only chance to get any reasonable burns is to make it 8 high, fill all of this, and get this burn here. Triple if possible. Now we will need another O piece to the left for that. Fortunately, we get one, and we get this triple. And burning all of this all the way, keeping the well open, touches ready. That was an absolutely perfect well management. Maybe besides this last piece, this one should go vertically to the right, not in this direction, but vertically in this way. It's quite the same thing which was happening on the left, just mirrored. Okay, let's play this Tetris setup once again because it's really good. I hope you will remember this one. It's just perfect. Perfect well management. Okay, and here we continue. This is all fine. This is good as well. Those, of course, we don't have to take those burns. Lombards to the sides most likely would be tiny bit better, especially in this case. But those burns are, of course, just fine as well. Another too early burn. This T simply goes here. And this lomba would be better on the right. The thing is, now we have this kind of shape that we have this 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So it's quite nice. It works with S, O, pretty much anything. While now with this lomba we transform it, not only don't we burn here, but we also transform it into this kind of situation where Z doesn't really work. This Z would create double well here, double hole here, and what makes it even worse, this Z would create a double Z kind of hole, because after this you have this kind of shape needed, so it's a Z shape. Whereas it isn't really good. Okay, this is all fine. This is fine as well. And another, I've already felt it would have happened. Yeah, this lomba goes all the way to the right, as always. This T is fine, but here maybe it would be slightly better to put this J here. It's J perfect shape. This burn can wait a bit, but fine as well. Just fine. This lomba in the middle isn't that good though, because it's gonna create this kind of spire here. That's why this lomba would be better here on the left. Especially on the left. On the right as well, but on the left is better because now we have this kind of J shape here, while J would also be needed here. So J is a perfect piece for two spots. That's why it's gonna be good to transform one of them into another one. For example, this using this number here on the left, and also this number on the left is gonna make the first column safe for next few lines. This is great, and it's kind of another early setup. It was possible to try to save Tetris here, save S for 19 of course. Yes, this is a great J, not burning but waiting a bit. Here, the second J, not really sure about it, but it seems better on the left regardless. I know after this there's decent chance for a very nice Tetris setup here, but look at the score, look at the lines, it's not worth it right now, really. Just safety is by far the priority here. So yeah, this J all the way to the left would be better. Fortunately, we got this lomba and O to the left. And unfortunately, most likely not no DAS on on the next lomba here, because it should go to the left, to all the way to the right here. Oh, and this T really isn't good. It's the same mistake as at the very beginning of the game, I believe, as far as I remember. It's not good to put this T in this direction. It's just better to leave it flat and wait for the L, especially in this case, because now look what we have here, O hole, here O hole as well. Double O hole is asking yourself for trouble massively. That's why it would be much better to simply put it flat and wait for the L. There's a lot of burns, possible burns in here. There wouldn't be any problems. Yeah, now this board is way worse than it seems. The only good kind of point of it, good, I mean not good, but the only thing which makes it not as bad as it would be is that it's still possible to bring the lomba all the way to the left now, which may make the very left kind of safe. But I don't put it there. So yeah, now it's a completely broken board, totally RNG dependent on lomba, now here or an O to the left. Without any of those pieces, most likely it's game over. I mean, maybe not really, because there's still like L here and lomba to the left, or just L here and waiting for this O to the left, and this waiting for O to the left setup. But yeah, those are trouble. This is how trouble looks like. Oh, this one is interesting immediately. Well, why not? It's fine. Something's wrong here. Yeah, once again, this O put in this way in the middle may cause some trouble. Once again, theoretically might be the best to put it here, thanks to this being so open. But no one would see that. So this is fine. Yeah, kind of problems out of nowhere. Am I trying stuff for Tetris now? If not, if yes, I shouldn't. But this lumber can go all the way to the left here. Will be pretty safe there, basically. Yeah, it looks like I'm trying to set up for a Tetris. Here, this really should be a double, not a single on the left. Here. Double here. It's not good with this, this, and this. There's too much going on the right. It would be better to just try to get back down. Oh, and this with this T? Yeah, there's no other good place to put this T, really. Objectively, most likely the best place is here, but no one would see that because it leaves this open and this open, and doesn't create uh, any crazy like holes, etc. Only this one little hole here, and maybe here would be slightly better as well than here. Maybe even here, just going into this dependency, because now we are entirely, the board is entirely long L dependent, and it's extremely lucky to get this L, the first piece. Yeah, it's just very lucky that I got that L that quickly. It's very, very lucky. So many good pieces here. And this O, perfect L, and perfect Lomba. It was like one of the luckiest Tetrises I've ever set up, most likely. Getting so great pieces in such a moment. It's truly amazing. And this T is a mistake. This T should go all the way to the right, of course. Here, maybe then there even will be a chance for another Tetris setup here. Look, T here, something here, here. There's a decent chance for another Tetris setup there. But with this T, trouble, trouble, trouble. Lot of trouble everywhere. This misdrop doesn't help. I wonder what I was trying to do after this Z, because it looks like an early shift, so most likely I was trying to put this Z here and bring the lomba all the way to the right, which would be the right thing to do. But after this, the only thing I can do is look how late it is. Is just press the right arrow button and put it here. That's the best I could do. That's just the best I could have done at this point. This goes to the left. That's a very fortunate lomba. The right. This follows here. It can go all the way to the right, and I have no idea which one is better. It all depends on what you want. If you want to be safer in perspective, most likely here is slightly better. If you want to get some burns going pretty quickly, this is much better, surely. Because the problem with this one is that now in order to burn anything, you need additional piece here, just in order to set up any burns. Now, the burns are set up immediately, basically. You have this L burn here set up now. So in this way, this placement seems to be slightly better. Yeah, here. And that's an entirely lucky, accidental, coincidental Tetris setup here. Out of literally nowhere. Just look at this. A Tetris setup, quite decent Tetris setup, literally out of nowhere. That's Palm 19 for you. Sometimes it's gonna happen just completely randomly with no intention to set up for a Tetris. Here I really didn't want to even set up this one. I mean, I wanted to in a way that I set it up because there were all the perfect pieces, but I didn't have the intention of setting it up. I remember that because I was so since getting well into the 300k, I remember I was very surprised even this game happened, and I was just playing, not even hoping for such a result. That was over double PPB at the time, like much over double PPB at the time. Now it is double PPB, I believe. Yeah, I think I had like 260 something back then. But here, the best we can do, it set itself up, all due to this misdrop. So the best thing we can do is just wait and hope the lomba comes on time. Keep it open. The lomba comes. Unfortunately, the board has taken a lot of damage. But this is all fine. You really have to wait for the lomba in this kind of situation. This T was a mistake. It should have gone all the way to the left here, because then after filling this, there was a chance for this burn here, even a triple burn if L comes. So T goes here, anything here, and here we have a burn. So this would make the chances for survival higher. I just didn't see that, most likely. So now it's all about waiting for the lomba for Tetris. The lomba comes, but the board has taken a lot of damage. Now the best thing you can do is try to fill this point, so that if we get an O to the left, this gets open as well. And try to use the space on the right, waiting for O and open it up piece by piece, point by point. There's nothing else you can do. Get the O, get this. The T goes all the way to the left. It's very lucky. And here, this is kind of possible mistake. It most likely would have been slightly better to bring this L all the way to the left immediately. Because look, we are one of the ground. This is 3 high. So in order to get to this height, you'd have to fill this and this anyways. That's why it might be better to bring it all the way to the left, kind of sacrificing the third row, sorry, this one, by this cover, but leaving yourself a chance for this spin and trying to fill this in any way, and then in the worst case scenario, you would be 2 off the ground, which isn't that bad. But here we are completely number dependent. And now I try to dismiss this quick tap for some reason, which lost dust completely. So now I can't really do anything with this S. If there was no quick tap, but I simply put this Z here, there would be dust to bring this S all the way to the left. And now with after getting L, J or Lombard here, there would be a great chance of surviving it because the left would become too high. Now after this miss drop, it's entirely piece dependent. This will be 3 high. In the best case scenario, the board is a complete mess. There's really nothing you can do if you don't get truly great RNG. Still trying. This O is really good. Now you have to fill this point first if possible. Maybe not necessary at first, but filling this one would be really great. This goes to the right, this goes to the left, and now you are so high that you have to hope for good pieces. There's nothing else you can do. Yeah, unfortunately, most likely this O would have to go here. Now, the space isn't right. There is even no good piece to put here. I mean, only Z, but it doesn't really work with this. Yeah, O here wouldn't be as bad as it seems. Although it makes the second column slightly higher. And another one additional L would be needed. But on the other hand, it makes it in a way that the L is possible immediately, and there is this burn, quite much space on the right, so maybe that was the way to go. Now you still need you have just one piece now, Z, while you don't have this line burned. See, what's the idea? The idea is if you put this O goes here because it's great, but this one, I mean, I don't mean this. I made a mistake now, sorry. Right, this O can go here. Thing is, the only good piece to the left which doesn't make it 4 high here, now it's 3 high, the only piece that doesn't make 4 high is an AZ. So if there's only one piece, you can as well just transform this piece into an L immediately, so that you start this waiting, but get this additional burn immediately. Because now in order to burn this line, you are going to need this Z anyways. Now you won't need it. You will set up this waiting, this eternity waiting immediately, and burn this line, so you get 2 pieces more of waiting easily. And the space on the right isn't quite nice now. Now this one does it, and this should have gone to the right. With this on the left, there's yet less chance of surviving. Yeah, and this is a misdrop. It was to go here, just waiting for this L, hoping for miracle, but it doesn't happen. And some misdrops, and the game is over. And overall, what's the most important thing about it is understanding, just look, how many mistakes, like true mistakes, there were in this game. A lot of mistakes. And how high of a score you can still get with that. Okay, I think that was it for this part. There will be one more regular part where I will analyze the Kit Pal World Cup final chase down against Mörke. So we will look into this one as well, and then we will see what to do next. For now, as always, I will play the game in full so that you can see it, so that you can watch it here right on the spot without any pauses. and without me talking. Thanks, bye.